Friday is starting off on the right track this morning for millions of Toronto area commuters. There is no transit strike to tell you about today, and Toronto subways, streetcars and buses are all running this hour. This is video into us as the morning rush was just getting underway, and you can see some of the hundreds of thousands of riders who rely on Toronto public transit to get around, making their way into an East End subway station. Toronto transit workers had been set to walk off the job at midnight, but the union and the Transit Commission will keep negotiating as they work toward a final agreement. A transit shutdown would have meant fresh chaos for people trying to get around in the Toronto area. Megan Fitzpatrick is outside that subway stop in the East End with the latest.
People we're speaking to this morning very relieved they did not have to scramble to come up with a plan B to get to school or work or wherever they needed to be today. Take a listen to what some of these TTC riders are telling us.
I work almost like 6 or 7 days a week, and then I take TTC every single day. Like, I can't drive, so I have to take TTC or take Uber, and then I can't afford Uber.
I have to go to work, and I don't have a car, and my work is about 45 minutes to an hour away on the subway and the bus.
Relieved. Yeah, pretty much relieved, but I kind of knew that, you know what, I'd find another way no matter what. So.
But it would have been an expensive way.
Yeah, it would have been an expensive way, that's for sure, yeah.
Those Uber bills would have added up quickly, Heather, and Uber quite likely would have had surge pricing today with the huge demand that could have come with no TTC service. We were speaking to commuters yesterday in advance of the possible strike, asking people what they were planning on doing, and some people saying they would have had to walk or find a bicycle or have to find an Uber or a taxi and pay up to get where they needed to go today. But thankfully, for all those who do rely on TTC, they are getting where they need to go today with that strike averted.
Lots of relief as they woke up to the news that we are sharing this morning of the deal that came late last night, Megan. What are we hearing from the two sides, both the union and the TTC, in all of this?
Well, they are calling this a tentative agreement, so this isn't final, but they have reached a framework, the union is calling it, for a 3-year contract. Their contract had expired March 31st, and they've been negotiating for months now to reach a new deal. They were negotiating over issues like wages and benefits and job security, but things were at an impasse yesterday, earlier in the day, according to the union president, and he had said they were preparing to go on strike at 12:01 a.m. if no deal was reached. But enough progress was made on those issues to get to this tentative agreement. Here's more of what he's saying about it.
I think we've started the road for our members to get the value that they deserve and they're entitled to get. I think we've started to get the protections that we need to protect not just transit workers, protect transit. That's what we're calling out. The TTC is actually actively working against itself when it comes to delivering transit, looking for other people to deliver transit in Toronto, looking to contract out, looking for other things that it's not efficiencies. They just want to take our work, sometimes at a cost.
He was very clear yesterday, Heather, that he was frustrated with how the talks were going. He mentioned a lack of trust and a lack of faith in the employer. So things did not go very smoothly, but they, again, made enough progress to get to that tentative agreement. The TTC is calling it a good deal for the city and for workers. Rick Leary is the CEO of the TTC. He was at that downtown Toronto hotel last night where the talks were going on. Here's some of what he's saying about the deal, and in particular on the issue of job security.
Right now, this agreement assures our employees that they have security at the TTC, no job losses, for instance, right? These people have committed their lives to this city, and I want to make sure they know that we appreciate that, and they don't have to worry about losing their jobs. And that's important to them to know. It's about their families as well, and the commitment their families have made. So that's an important message for everybody.
So in terms of what happens next, they do need to work on these final details of the agreement, Heather. Then it'll go to the union members for a ratification vote. If it is approved by them, then it needs to go to the full TTC board for approval as well. We don't have a clear timeline on how this will unfold. We'll be watching for more updates, and if we hear anything else from the union or from the city throughout the day today.
We will, Megan. Thank you very much. Megan Fitzpatrick.